Welcome to the final Rastakhan's Rumble. Rastakhan, I always get that wrong. Rastakhan's Rumble reveal stream. My name is Brian Kibler. I am joined by Dean Ayala. This is your first time on one of these gameplay reveal streams, but we did do the original reveal stream for Ngoro way back when. Feels like a lifetime ago.
In the Bahamas, too.
Yeah.
So we're finally reunited. That we get to do this. Yeah. I enjoy playing Hearthstone games. I play Hearthstone games all day at work, so this is the one thing that I can do. So
all right.
This is good.
Well, for people who may not know you, let everyone know a little bit about yourself, what your role is on the Hearthstone team.
Sure. I'm a game designer on the Hearthstone team. I work primarily on final design, which is, I think most people equate to game balance. So me and my team are responsible for changing, a lot of numbers from 4s to 5s, that sort of thing, but also responsible for we get to a point in the set where we have a bunch of really cool designs and we're trying to make sure things work. Like all the archetypes that we're trying to build are actually, people get to use them and have fun with them.
Okay, so speaking of cool archetypes that you're trying to push, there's a lot of interesting stuff so far that we have seen in Rastakhan's Rumble. Are there any of the sort of decks that stand out to you as your favorites to play or that were particularly tricky in the development process?
Sure, yeah, I think that something I've been playing a lot on live lately is like a rush tempo warrior sort of thing, and that's we're taking a lot of cards in Rastakhan's Rumble, and it's probably going to help that deck a lot. Like Spirit of the Rhino is a card where when you play a rush minion, it's immune for the turn, which really helps you against a lot of the more aggressive strategies. You have your minions at full health, and you can fight for the board pretty easily. Something that is a little bit challenging is Heal Paladin. Like a lot of players are playing like odd and even Paladin now, which is a lot different than sort of the control Paladins of old. So I think Thekol might help a little bit in letting you heal yourself and get a lot of those bonuses for that.
Yeah, one of the cards that I've been most excited about to see was the, High Priest Thekol, that converts your health almost entirely into armor.
Yeah.
Because one of the problems that I always had trying to build Heal Paladin, and I've tried to build Heal Paladin, is that you just can't heal yourself. You don't get damaged enough when you're playing against other controlling decks. Your opponent isn't actually damaging you, so you're like, I have this blackguard, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
And
especially
then, even against minion decks, you're healing yourself enough with so many of your lifesteal things or whatever that you're like, oh, it just doesn't quite get there.
Sure, yeah, and especially against a lot of, we were talking earlier, against a lot of combo decks, being able to essentially get yourself to 59 health or 60 health is pretty good in those situations too. So I mean, a lot of times you're facing a control deck and it's turn 15 and you're at 30 life and you want to heal yourself with your cards, but you can't. But Thekol helps a lot with that.
Well, is there anything that you want to share about the set or anything before we actually get into the gameplay? Because I believe we have 4 matches we're going to play today.
Yep.
I think we're playing as Reels.
Yes. Yeah, Reels beats me a lot at work, so I'm sure that will continue to happen
We
here.
shall take him down.
Yeah, so this is a really exciting set for us to work on. I don't say this about every set, but this is the favorite one that I have. I think that it's sort of aligned with World of Warcraft, and that was really cool. It's not really like necessarily planned, but it's cool that we got to see a lot of those characters in both games. And Shrivala is one of my favorite cards as well, so I'm really looking forward to playing Control Paladin in those Rush Warrior decks. But there's all kinds of stuff.
I just call it Shiro the Tiger.
Yes,
yeah.
You
also really looking forward to that.
Yeah, if you guys want to call it Shiro the Tiger, I approve that. Shiro's a good dog.
Good choice. All right, well, shall we just jump into some battles then?
Yep,
Are we good to go? All right, I got a button over here that says play, so I'm going to press it. See where we are. Launching. I like that. But yeah, the Shiro the Tiger goes perfectly, it seems to me, into Quest Paladin, because you're obviously casting a bunch of...
You are a Quest Paladin gamer.
I am a Quest Paladin gamer, and I've been playing a lot of Quest Paladin.
I know. I feel like every time I pull up your stream, or every time I read something from your Twitter, you're like, I think this could work in Quest Paladin. So, we'll see if that works.
Well, it's the sort of card that one of the big things you're looking for... we're getting some intro to the Hearthstone here. All right, I think we're ready to go. But I was going to say, one of the things that Quest Paladin wants out of a minion, lifesteal is really powerful because when you have buffs, you're like, I'll load buffs up in this lifesteal minion. Rush. It's like, oh, I have these buffs, I'll load it up in this. And well, you spend all this mana casting all these buffs, and you're ready to go.
Yeah, especially if you have a 0 mana rush lifesteal minion.
Yeah,
you
pretty
cast
good.
A bunch of spells.
Pretty good.
You can buff it like as it comes into play.
All right, so are we waiting for Reels to challenge us? Are we challenging Reels here? We're waiting? We're waiting. Okay.
All right.
Reels,
is at his desk right
come
now.
get us.
Challenge us.
All right.
I don't know if we're on a delay or not, so maybe
I don't know. I don't know either. Aha.
Oh,
Apparently we've been challenged by Reels under Chalky's pseudonym.
Wow, Chalky's going to be very upset. His account's being used for this.
All right. Ooh, we have Dragon Rush Warrior, Heal Paladin, Feral Beast, and Surrender Priest.
All right,
I think according to our schedule, we're supposed to play Heal Paladin first.
Great. I'm excited to observe you watch these and judge your gameplay.
All right. Let's do it. Let us do it. And from the last gameplay reveal stream that I did, I think was Knights of the Frozen Throne, I learned something important, which is never have 10 cards in your hand when you might possibly draw a new card.
I remember that. I think I was actually on the other end of that one. You like burned Gul'dan, I think?
I did. And I was like life tapping a bunch because I was like, I want to make sure I get all the new cards. But then I forgot to account for my Lich King in play because Lich King was a new card. Ooh, this is a new card already.
It's like we have a new card.
We do. We do. Ornery Tortoise. This is Battle Cry, deal 5 damage to your hero. Okay, this is another card that is actually potentially pretty powerful in Heal Paladin.
Yeah,
right?
sure. It's slightly overstated, but if you have a lot of ways to heal yourself, and especially if you feel like you're in a metagame where there's not a ton of aggro decks beating you down all the time, or if you feel like you have an overabundance of healing cards, this is another card that helps you get there.
It's also a beast. So if you're playing, say, a Houndmaster deck, you can just, it's like, I want to make sure I have a Houndmaster target in play for my turn 4. You can just sacrifice some of your health.
Absolutely, because it's a neutral card. You can use it anyway.
Okay, well we'll keep the tortoise. We're gonna mulligan these. I think we've seen these cards before.
I think so. Yeah, we want new cards, and we also want cards that cost less than 5 mana.
We do. Yeah.
In general, yeah.
I mean, the primary thing is you want new cards, but we'll try and get a decent hand too. Ooh, we get the coin because we're going second.
You should use it wisely.
We will use it wisely. Okay. And now Reels here is playing Warlock. He's got a Firefly for us.
That is a good turn 1 play.
I'm gonna expect he's playing a Grim Rally deck.
That would be my guess.
That is my guess.
Okay.
All right.
Our only choices are Coin Hero Power and Coin Equality. So
I think we're just gonna say go. I think we're gonna say go.
Pass
okay.
Is good.
But I'm ready. I'm ready with my tortoise. We could actually. Yeah, I think we're gonna coin out a tortoise next turn. We even have the benevolent Djinn here.
Tortoise into Djinn.
We have
that is quite the combo.
The coin combo of boom boom. Chalky's just life tapping. He's trying to find new cards too. He's on our side.
Sure, yeah. He's gonna hopefully not get.
Even though it's not actually Chalky, it's actually Reels. Oh, okay. It's Immortal Prelate. Is that prelate or prelate? I actually don't even know.
It's prelate. Yeah, we called it pre-latte a lot in
pre-latte
because it was funny
it's
to
like
us.
Before you have your coffee.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. We will coin. And we will
play. It's got to be the tortoise, right?
This angry turtle.
What else would you want to do in Hearthstone but deal 5 damage to yourself?
I like the actual turtle bite animation on your face. I got a wow back.
By the holy light.
Always emote.
Yeah. It's like actually pretty much required by law.
Yes. So we have Djinn to follow this up, which is going to heal us. Unless we draw Thekel, who's going to be like, he's going to be the card that we want.
Is it Thekel or Thekal?
It's probably Thekal. I say Thekel.
Okay. Turtle down. Ooh, discarded the Solarium. Tisk tisk.
Immortal Clay. He's still drawing cards.
I mean, when you look at this, like, our 3-drop soaked up a Soulfire and a Mortal Coil. So that's pretty impressive.
That is pretty good. We're gonna get some
and we're just gonna get some of our life back.
And this is also gonna trade really well into the Firefly. So we're getting into the mid game here, and we're totally fine.
Although we still don't know exactly what Reels cosplaying as Chalky's deck does.
Well, I do.
Suck you. Ooh, you do. Ooh, Demon Bolt. Whoa. Hold on.
Hold on. Right.
Demon Bolt. Is that actually 6 cost, or does it normally cost 7? Because it looks like it's reduced,
normally
right?
costs 8.
It normally costs 8. Right. Oh, right, because there's 2 minions in play. Okay,
right,
so it normally costs 8. Destroy a minion, costs 1 less for each minion you control. Huh. Okay, so if you have a full board, this is 1 cost kill a thing.
Yep.
If you have like 4 guys, it's 4 cost kill a thing. That's like pretty good in some sort of Warlock Swarm deck. It seems like it's going to be tough to use like outside of either like a late game scenario or, like having a bunch of things that make your board go really big.
Yeah, it's one of those interesting removal cards in that a lot of times when you're playing removal cards, you're a control deck that just has like 6 to 8 to 10 removal cards, and you're trying to get to really late game. But that's not really what this card is designed for. It's designed for more.
Right.
You get to play a removal card if you're playing like a mid-rangey minion-based aggressive deck.
Yeah, and it can also be used specifically. It's very good if you are playing that sort of swarm style of deck to punch through like a big taunt in the late game. Your opponent has like a Tyrion or a Lich King, and you swarm the board, and you're like, okay, your guy's dead, and I'm just going to get you. Seems like it could be pretty powerful in a very specific style of deck.
All right, so we drew the Tiger. I'm not sure if we're going to play
Yeah, I don't think Spirit of the Tiger seems very good right now because next turn, we're going to cast maybe Consecration. It's not even that good here. It does feel like Consecration is a card that we want to keep against our opponent's Demon Bolt deck. So my feeling is I just want to attack this guy.
Yeah, I think maybe just Hero Power in here,
yeah.
and then setting up for a Shivala next turn, or Spirit of the Tiger next turn.
Shivala next turn, sign me up.
That would be nice, yeah. Spirit of the Tiger next turn, and then sets us up for an Equality Consecration the following turn.
Right, yeah, and right now,
if he swarms.
the Succubus is likely to hit this. This kid is going to trade right back into there,
So
and
it's
then we
pretty
could
nice.
potentially set up a Spirit of the Tiger. Or we could just Ziliax next turn and potentially save this for later, depending on what we see.
Yeah, sure. If he kills both of our minions somehow, then we're probably going to Ziliax that thing.
Okay, yeah, I think we may just want to Ziliax here. Ziliax this down, kill this. This is going to get more powerful potentially as the turns go on too. Ooh, okay. Shriek. Oh, we've seen this one. In case you missed this at home, this was revealed before. 1 cost, discard your lowest cost card, deal 2 damage to all minions. That's one thing that we've seen a lot of in the discard cards. They're specific types of discard. Sure. They discard your lowest cost cards, a lot of that. Was that sort of aimed primarily at allowing you to play more controlling style discard decks that could potentially support the quest and actually play like big removal spells like Twisting Nether and things like that? Because I tried to play a lot of quest Warlock, over the Angoro metagame and beyond, and oftentimes ran into the problem of, I'm just going to Ziliax here while I'm talking. Oftentimes ran into the problem of, I have like my Gul'dan or my Twisting Nethers, and I discarded that, and now I don't have removal spells and things like that.
A lot of times, especially when you're playing removal cards like Shriek, you want to save the cards for late game. You don't necessarily need the cards that are like Voidwalker and stuff.
Right.
So tends to fit in a little bit better.
Soul Warden. Okay. So this is one of the big payoff cards for discard in this. Obviously, there's some stuff like the quest that we've discussed as potentially being payoffs for discard, but this by itself is just 6 cost 6/6, and it just effectively drew 3 cards.
Yeah.
It got back what was it? Solarium. It got back the Shriek, and there was one other card that was discarded that I forget.
I forget as well.
That's you gotta pay attention to these things if you're really trying to.
I think I feel bad
maximize.
To discard your most expensive stuff and the stuff that your win conditions.
Right.
So at least now you have Soul Warden, unless of course you discard it.
But if you discard your Soul Warden, and you play your second Soul Warden, and then just going off.
Or you still have your Gul'dan or whatever.
You did tell me not to ask you rules questions, so I was gonna say can you get multiples of the same thing back with this? Like if you discard a card once, you can only get it back with a single Soul Warden, right? The Soul Warden won't bring back 3 copies of one card you discarded.
I don't believe so.
Okay.
It's mostly a Peter question.
Yeah.
Peter's the rules guy.
All right. Well, ask Peter on Twitter if you guys want to know. All right. So we're going to go ahead and I think we want to play the Spirit of the Tiger here at this point.
I think so too.
And then just Hero Power.
Chief Ender's not really going to do it. It's not really doing it for us right now. Something about Demon Bolt. We were actually playtesting Demon Bolt, the destroy minion, cost 1 less at 7 mana, but it was actually really, really powerful in just traditional key block because you'd play Gul'dan and you 0 mana remove a thing.
Sure.
So we thought that it still accomplished what we wanted it to do in Zoo, but without being making a deck that was already relatively powerful even more powerful.
And I really do like the synergy of Solarium with Soul Warden and with the discard style cards because it's something that actually churns you through your deck. Because earlier, when there was Malchezaar's Imp back in Karazhan, you had the way to get through your deck with your discard effects.
Yep.
And with Solarium, this synergizes kind of on both halves. You want to churn through your deck to find your things that allow you to discard, and it can actually also allow you to discard things.
Yeah,
and there's another Soul Warden. Look, you're gonna overdraw.
He's gonna have so many cards.
You fool!
Yeah, this is what's gonna happen. He's gonna overdraw his new card. We're only gonna have a second.
Oh no, he
okay. Wow, Reels is so smart. Yeah. Okay, so now what are we doing
here? Is this
here?
a new card?
Flash of Light. I don't believe so.
Where's it? What's this from?
Maybe it is.
It has the Rastakhan's Rumble.
Well, I know it's a Rastakhan's Rumble card, but I don't know if we revealed it.
I may have missed this being revealed.
It's not new to me, but yeah, restore full health, draw a card. It's one of those cycle cards that helps you in the heal deck, of course.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we just want a quality consecration this board. Is my feeling.
I believe so.
Because we'll quality. And we get a 2/2
It's going to summon, and then it's
tiger.
going to go to 2/1, and then we're going to get a 4/4.
Look at that. Look at that. And because we have a 1/4, we're not vulnerable to a Defile here. This can at least survive a Hellfire as well.
That's true. It was actually like maybe even better that it came out as a 2/2 and went to a 2/1 than if it would have been a 2/2, right?
Yeah, it does actually. Well, no, we wouldn't have a 3 anyway. But
Right, but then we're vulnerable like Mortal Coil.
Sure, sure. Oh, Soulfire, okay.
And we're discarding
another Demon
Bolt. Okay.
Shriek, ooh.
Flame Elemental. Yes, Firefly's pretty good, and you're not that sad about losing the Flame Elemental.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
What was that?
Hold on.
You discarded a new card.
He's discarded Demon Bolt 3 times this game.
Blood Troll Sapper. Is that also a new card?
It is, yes.
After a friendly minion dies, after a friendly minion dies, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. So this, if you're playing like a Swarm style deck, you can just trade in all your guys, and you get to go face and trade at the same time. It's like the dream.
Right. 7. If you're going to trade anyway, then it's potentially 7 mana 5/8 Pyroblast your
right.
or something like
that.
Yeah,
and it's also potentially a card that. If you set up like a Defile, you play this, Defile your stuff away. That can also like allow you to have like a board clear that ends up being like a ton of damage to your opponent.
There's a lot of tension there, just because the Bloodshell Sapper is a card where it's obviously doing face damage.
Right.
But if you're the kind of deck that only wants to do face damage, then you generally are not the kind of deck that wants to do a bunch of trading. So you have to figure out like the right use cases for it.
Well, it's also a lot of those decks don't necessarily want to have just a 7 drop in them because they want to have the ability to do consistently powerful things. Speaking of doing these things.
All right, so we need to restore 10 health this game in order to get that guy to go up.
Well, I'm going to do...
That seems right.
So we're going to draw a card, gain some life, draw another card. Ooh, is this a new one? This is a new one.
That is
Whoa! New. Okay.
1 mana 2/2 weapons are pretty good. Dealing 5 damage to yourself, however.
Okay.
Not always good.
1 mana 2/2 weapon. Battle cry. Deal 5 damage to your hero.
What do you think about that card?
I love this card. I think this card is fantastic.
It's really polarizing to people in playtesting.
Oh, well, I'm sure this sort of card when you look at it, you're like, what the heck? Like this card seems awful. If you just look at it without the context of, I want to be healing myself a bunch as like a heal paladin deck, and also I care a lot about damaging myself because I need to be able to heal myself.
Yep.
The fact that it costs 1 and it's a 2 attack weapon, you can use this to kill like a ton of powerful things. I like the sound of Shriek, by the way.
That's a good sound. Oh, Davis.
Oh, he's going off.
He's discarded a lot of cards without discarding Davis. So I think we're pretty happy.
I'm guessing he just drew Zavis, is my thought. So yeah, this seems like really strong because it gives you a tool to have like powerful early game board control, while also enabling the ability to turn on your tools to kill your opponent. Okay, so
our Templar is turned on.
We could. I mean, we want to play Lay on Hands because we have this in play. I think. So I feel like we want to Lay on Hands. The question is, do we want to Lay on Hands ourselves? Do we want to like play Crystallizer or Bloodclaw? Or do we want to like Lay on Hands our Spirit of the Tiger? We can only get our Spirit of the Tiger back to 3, so it's probably not worth it. So we probably want to play...
Can't really kill anything with Bloodclaw.
Yeah, so I think we probably play Crystallizer into Lay on Hands. We could just play the Bloodclaw to be able to like finish things off, which is better to have the 5 armor
so we go to what, 23, and then if we hit something, we can hit it for free. But is hitting it really even worth it at this point?
I think I think I do want to just play this.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna play the Bloodclaw. Because I think we may want to get this into play for later.
Sure.
We might as well get the damage immediately.
I imagine like this is the kind of deck that likes to play Shivala, right? So if you're playing online, you'd probably be wondering how much mana have I cast on spells this game.
It's
so
true.
when I draw Shivala, it's like how much mana is it
what
gonna cost?
I've spent 14, 15, 16, I think. I think it's 16. Because I played a quality consecration, the
2 mana
cantrip
card.
Heal, and then Lay on Hands.
I
think it's 16. I don't think I've played anything else.
I think maybe you're right. Yeah.
Well, we have an 8/8 Tiger here, and none of these are that big.
Good. Yeah, our Spirit did a little bit of work.
Our Spirit was really good this game. We got a 2/2. Ooh. Banana Buffoon.
That is also a new card, I believe.
Okay. So this is reverse Mukla.
That's like Mukla's small friend. He's learned to give bananas to himself rather than...
okay.
giving
So
bananas to
he
his
and
opponent.
Mukla just hang out. They just toss them back and forth.
They do, yeah.
Oh dear, that is a serious flick we let it fell.
It is
Okay.
quite large.
I think I may have a plan.
What is your plan? Is your plan just stall forever?
I may play timeout. I can also punch with my timeout, right?
Yeah. So you can you can be immune for when you attack with your weapon.
I also have a flash of light.
We really need to get to that equality, I think,
Yeah.
because we're never getting through this without
So
casting equality at
let's
some
flash of light ourselves first. Wait, what was this card? I didn't even see this card. Oh, is this a new card? I don't think I've seen this card. A 2/1 lifesteal battle cry, deal 1 damage. Okay. Well, let's start with the flash of light in ourselves.
Okay.
Actually, do we want to flash of light this if we're gonna be?
If we're gonna be, yeah, probably, huh?
So I think this attacks here, and then we flash of light this.
Okay. What do we get?
A new challenger. Okay. We're at 23. There's 12, 13, 14, 18 there. I think we still just need to time out here. So I'm going to cast timeout.
Okay.
I'm going to attack here. Oh, am I immune so I just gain 5 armor? I think that's
so,
how it'll work. Oh, look at that.
Wow. That is
Boom. Mondo combo.
synergy, yeah.
Look at this. I feel so fancy.
I don't think I've ever played a crystallizer in timeout. I imagine that Reels has if he built these decks.
I mean, I saw it. I was like, ooh, this is going to work, isn't
Yeah,
it? And
yeah.
then it
I
did.
saw it in the hand. I was like, oh, this is actually gonna work. It's crazy.
It's the timeout's a little less good now that I played this taunt, but it protects my other 8/8.
Yeah.
And we got it basically just heal for 5.
You have to
'cause I
punch
played my
these minions
crystallizer.
eventually. So.
Yeah, we got to get rid of them. Although Reels is almost out of cards. What Reels is doing something to himself. Oh no, that's a banana. I can tell it's a banana. He's trying to banana himself. Who's hungry? All right.
All right. So we're
You can banana this twice. Trade these 2 in.
Yeah.
Or that way. Doesn't really matter if he's just trading those off.
I mean, I imagine if you want to do that, he just would have done it to the.
Okay.
Interesting play, Reels. I guess he just wanted to go wider.
Okay. Felhunt. Ooh, High Priestess Jaklik gets 2 of them. That card's cool.
He's getting pretty low on cards, though.
It's true.
How many cards does he have left?
He only has 5 cards left.
Okay.
A new challenger.
New challenger's good.
Yeah, let's get ourselves a new challenger, I think. We won't really be able to play anything else. We can play this. This is kind of cool because like the fact that it just pings something for 1, but you immediately lifesteal that damage back. So it's kind of like
Yep. You heal for 1, and then you probably heal for another 2.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's just start with a new challenger. Boop. Oh, I don't have anything to lifesteal. I do have this. I kind of want a blackguard just because it's thematic with my deck.
Imagine if you had Cheval in your
I
hand.
know.
Right now. That would be
Imagine.
insane.
I am currently imagining.
Actually, it would cost like 9 or something, right?
This actually isn't even that good.
Okay.
No, it's still good. I still want it.
We probably don't want the beast.
It just has so much health.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we're going to attack here.
And then I think we just pass. Well, I mean, we press our hero power, and then we pass. I think. None of the other things seem very good right now.
Reporting for duty.
Oh, my blackguard. Where's
We haven't
Shiro?
gotten any buffs because we kind of want the
The
prelate to get
the
buffed,
prelate's not really
right?
doing anything just
Yeah.
yet. I know we have Spike Ridge Steed in our deck. Oh my god, he just keeps making High Priestesses.
Because he's just got 3 Jack.
He's just going off
right now, right?
Yeah, he can just keep playing Jaklik or whatever. I'm ready though. I have the ankle biter.
Yeah, the ankle biter for the or you can just use your face too. I think our opponents here. Just
There's the
gonna run out of
equality.
Stuff.
I don't know that we need to equality though.
Do we need it now? Yeah. I don't know. I don't think so.
So I think this attacks here.
Seems right.
And then I want to use the
as well.
ankle biter to shoot here. Now I want the blackguard to shoot one of these. Oh, this is still gonna work.
That works too, because you can just
Yeah.
tuck in and
Now we just
consecrate,
consecration.
Perfect.
We just set it up with the blackguard off of our new challenger. So now we know our opponent just has 2 high priests.
Yep.
Priestesses. We're just gonna play the prelate anyway. I guess we won't be able to battle axe.
Yeah,
but
we could have buffed it and then played it.
Well, I mean, we need to actually get the Howl Fiend.
So,
Like this needs to overkill something. There's nothing on the opponent's side we're gonna overkill. Ooh, there's a Spike Rich Steed. All right.
there it is.
So I actually can't. I don't think I want to attack with this because I don't want to lifesteal and accidentally shoot this as black card.
Do you just
Do I just trade this in?
I think you do. Just kill it.
This is so ugly.
We don't want any like weird shenanigans where he like discards our whole hand, right?
Yeah.
No escape.
We're in a pretty commanding position. At
I
this
feel like
point.
we're doing pretty well. We want to draw Shiro. We still haven't drawn Shiro.
We do, yeah. I am pretty excited about this deck. I think, you know, being able to heal so much, and because Paladin's always been a class that has things like equality, which is like one of the more powerful, I think, removal spells in the game. Like, you obviously have to combo at things, but you know, potentially it does a lot. Equality's been in a lot of decks for a long time.
This card's funny to me. All right, well, Reels is making sure we see every new card from his deck.
Yes. Is that just 2 Jet Clicks left?
Where is Shiro? Where is he?
All right, we've got some games to play, Brian. I think we can just put Reels out of his misery here.
Look at this. Boom.
Combos, wow.
Now every time this attacks. All right.
I don't think Jet Click's gonna make it.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
We dealt a lot of damage to ourselves this game.
We did.
And yet, here we are at 33 live.
Mortal Coil. Okay, you got it. Oh, there's the call. Boom. I want to see the animation.
Pretty sick, eh?
All right, now we'll need Challenger. Ooh.
Okay, just
Oh, Auctioneer, yeah.
of course.
Gives us a better chance to actually find, here.
No escape.
You can have all that life. We just want to draw Shiro. Look at this life. Ooh.
We give us one more chance.
Yeah, we
to
have
draw
one more.
Shriek.
We have 2 draws.
He's gonna.
2 draws.
He has rush, so it's gonna be a. He's not really gonna have a lot to do.
He's trying to get himself dead. He could life death to death next turn.
Yeah.
All right.
We didn't quite make it.
Ah. Oh well.
All right. Let's do
Tiger
that.
Punch.
The proper BM move there is you pass turn and then you let the fatigue damage kill him.
Ah, well, he was life tapping. He was trying to get himself dead, so by passing turn, the
guess
fatigue
so,
damage
yeah,
killing
yeah,
him
yeah.
means that he achieves his goal.
That's true.
Whereas by attacking him, he does not.
That's true. But for those of you watching at home, you always you always let the fatigue kill your opponent.
All right, so
what is our next game?
our next game, I believe, is Druid.
Okay.
Feral Beasts is the deck.
A lot of people have been talking about this is a different direction for druids, right?
Yeah, yeah. So this is one of the directions that I'm pretty excited about because I've been playing some odd druid quite a bit recently, and
I've seen people play that.
it's pretty sweet. Like it's kind of missing, at least before this set, kind of missing some pieces. I think the Spirit and the Loa both seem like pretty powerful cards in that deck. But one thing that I'm really looking for, I think there's one druid card that hasn't been revealed. There has to be another like buff. Right?
There
There
must
has to
be, right?
It feels like there just has to be another like self-attack buff because otherwise all these other cards just don't make sense. So
yeah, I think
I'm gonna mulligan
I think there
every
should
card
be
that
one more.
isn't that card that I'm thinking of.
that's pretty good, but you know,
It is. I don't want
but
it. I don't want
this
it.
stream is about
This is an
new
old
cards,
card.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is an
We don't-
old
we
card.
don't
This is a
need old cards.
Spellstone. That's from like a year ago.
Spellstone had its time.
Yeah. Undasta's a new card, but we've seen it. All right. Ooh.
That is a large beast.
Well, Undasta's back.
The pleasure is mine.
I don't know that we want to play that.
I don't think so. So this is
think so.
unless our opponent plays a 1/1 here or a 2/1 here.
That's the kind of thing about a lot of the spirits. You don't necessarily want to just play
Turbo
them
them
when
out.
you have the mana for them.
Right.
Yeah, you kind of want to build your deck around them, but not only that.
Serrated
here we have a new card.
Tooth.
It's one of my favorite cards, actually. It's really cool.
This is a 1-cost 1/3 weapon. Death Rattle. Give your minions rush. Huh. So this is interesting because Rogue obviously has, there's the hero power.
We have a
as
new
if
card.
on, well, not really on cue, but okay. Pounce, 0 cost. Give your hero +2 attack this turn. So
What
this
do you think?
sadly does not work in my odd druid deck.
Yes,
But
that's true.
that would just be too overpowered. But so 0 cost, give your hero +2 attack. This works exceptionally well with say this card.
Yes,
Because no matter
absolutely.
no matter where you are in terms of mana available, 0 is pretty good for that.
Also Gonk.
It works
the Loa
right
works
with.
well.
I've been calling it Gronk. It's clearly just like a Patriots defensive play or whatever.
It's Gonk. That's not Gronk. Yeah.
All right, we're just gonna punch our opponent in the face. We're not gonna pounce them for 2 more.
Gonk's in this deck.
But frankly, anything that costs 0 is a card just to go like, ooh, what is this? But like this is like super strong for any kind of deck that's specifically looking to use the feral stuff, and is just potentially like just a very good card in almost any druid deck, right? Like your opponent just plays a 2/2, you're like, all right, I'll pounce it. Like here, for instance.
Here, for instance, it's quite good, right? Because
We can just play Spirit, Pounce, Hero Power.
Correct.
So that's what I'm going to do. Spirit, Pounce, Hero Power.
I think with Gonk in particular, it costs 7.
Oh,
mana,
yeah.
Right? So I think a lot of people would be talking about like, well, it's a little difficult to weave in like attack buffs with
Right.
Gonk in order to like do that, but Pounce is obviously like, helps you.
That was a big thing when I saw that card. I was like, oh, there has to be like I was thinking there's going to be like a minion that gave your hero say plus attack on your turn.
Yep.
Like that was I don't know what it would be exactly, but something that you could theoretically have that you could already have set up when you play Gonk that you could get them with. But obviously with Pounce, that you don't have to even have it set up. There's nothing your opponent can do to stop it.
Yep.
So, our opponent is clearly playing a pirate deck. So I think we're going to want to kill this, and we have the spirit set up from last turn, still stealth. So we'll claw it down.
We're gonna do some damage. Drew Predatory Instincts. I don't know if you've
We did, yeah.
seen
This,
that card yet.
I believe this has been revealed, but for people who have not seen it, this is a 4-cost draw beast from deck, double its health.
Yeah.
So obviously, pretty powerful if you get, say, a Tarantus off of it, or some other giant thing that you can then put into play for free with
Witchwood Grizzly?
Dasta. Yeah.
It's pretty insane with that.
I think this is a new card.
Halftime Scavenger.
3/5 stealth, overkill, gain 3 armor. Huh. So just 3/5 stealth for 4 is like okay.
Not bad, right?
Yeah, it's a decent stat line. But if you're playing a deck with a lot of small minions, like the fact that you can play this and they can't just kill it easily, then you can sort of use it to attack their guys and gain armor back. So it's normally stealth minions tend to be fairly aggressively oriented, but this one's pretty defensively oriented because it has high health and it has this overkill ability of kill a small minion with it, and it helps defend you.
It's really annoying, I think, versus if you're playing something like Odd Paladin.
Yeah.
Like it's really hard to chop through. 3/5 is like the really aggressive decks, but if you don't, then your whole strategy
it just
is sort
starts
of for
eating your guys, yeah.
and gaining a bunch of armor.
Once you do buff your guys with something like, say, a Fungal Mancer or level up, you don't necessarily run into them just eating your guys for additional value. But it's just being able to kill 2 guys or kill 1 guy and gain some armor, then kill another guy is pretty powerful. All right, well, Spirit of the Shark is one of the first cards revealed. This card seems awesome, and I'm scared of what is going to happen to us
too,
now.
yeah. Someone who works
All right,
on game balance.
I feel like we may want to play this Scavenger.
I think so too. We could play Predatory, but I think we probably don't.
Yeah, I feel like we need something on the board here. We can't just be drawing cards, so I'm going to say go.
Yeah, hopefully our opponent doesn't play some enormous Edwin. Something interesting about the rogue weapon as well is you always can trigger it just by daggering, right? So you can just destroy your weapon and give your minions rush, kind of whenever you want.
Ooh, all right. Pirate's going. After your attacks, summon a pirate.
I love how he looks. He's just let's go.
Yeah. Whoa.
I think that might also be a new one, right?
We saw this I think the other day.
Okay. Oh yeah, this
is
is actually really, really recently.
Oh man, it gets +1/+1 for each pirate, and he has this. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
yeah,
dear.
that guy's gonna be enormous.
We are in so much trouble.
Yeah, the spirit itself is really slow. Oh wow, if we would have played Predatory, maybe we would have
drawn exactly that.
Yeah.
So this can be a 1/2 stealth poisonous, right?
Yes.
I feel like we may need to get rid of this.
I think we have to, yeah. But I mean, we can do that. We
Well,
just attack it.
Well, the question is, what else do we want to try and do? This is going to be too small. Like, these things just kill it. It's going to be
It's going to be a 3/10.
Yeah.
Which is pretty big.
It is pretty big. But I wonder if we want to like play this as a poisonous thing, punch this so we can overkill with this. Then we have this the next turn too. I feel like we want to get rid of this. I feel like our opponent getting to Battle Crier combo again is pretty gross. Plus he has this, so anything he plays can get rushed, which make it pretty easy to take the Grizzly down this turn.
Yeah, he's going to have to chop the Grizzly, though.
So we're going to punch this first, which lets us then overkill this and get our 3 armor.
Some armor.
I'm feeling fancy. All right, and then we're going to be a Ravasor.
Okay. Not necessarily the line I would have taken, but you're a very good player, Brian, so it's always interesting.
I wanted to use the combo of turning the overkill on to demonstrate this, okay?
Yeah. Okay, so next turn we can play Ironhide. We can play Witchwood Hero Power. So if he doesn't do anything here, we can... Well, I mean, he doesn't play Taunt or something. Your line's going to seem pretty good, because it's going to be able to chop that 7/7.
Well, part of this is... Ooh, okay.
That card is very good.
That card seems really powerful, yeah. Draw 2 pirates and a weapon with the combo. Didn't actually combo this turn, but...
X marks the spot.
All right.
You just got
so now... Ooh, the Nash Equilibrium. Have you heard of that? It's kind of funny. The mana per armor, which is better than the Nash. Pounce is definitely much better than the Nash Equilibrium. You get 2 for 0. You don't get any armor.
That's better on raid, I would say, yeah.
All right, well, this is definitely a kill our opponent's 7/7.
Okay.
And then I feel like we probably have to play this Wishwood Grizzly at this point. There's still just this, though.
What if you just play the
just a
Ironhide?
Devil Sword?
What happens? So he trades the 5/2 and the 1/1 and trades his face in, or maybe he trades his face in and then rushes the stuff in his hand. So yeah, it's not great.
Nothing seems very good for us here.
Yeah, I think
we just have a lot of expensive stuff.
See, if you Nash, you can kill one, but it's not very good either.
I mean, we could just play this, and then we may have to trade stuff into it. I think that's not unreasonable.
Yeah, I think
and then next turn we can potentially Nash and Grizzly.
Yep, that seems good to me. Because he's definitely going to kill it, but he's got the 5/2, which is like something that he wants to trade. We don't know what's in his hand. It's all going to have a rush very soon.
Right. That's the problem of like just trying to throw taunts in the way too. Is that if he just plays big things.
Yeah, something that like Death Rattle Hunter has shown people is you have Houndmaster Shaw, and you can basically give when you can give anything rush, that can be quite powerful.
Yeah, this is. Oh dear! He can rush that in if he wants. And draw his cards.
That is one of the more powerful things to do with the weapon. Is you
okay. Yeah. All right. All right. Did this guy get rush? Who was created? He does have it. Okay.
Yep.
Carnassial. That's the ability, apparently, that gives him rush, is Carnassial.
I see. So, this turn, that guy's getting a lot of value. Oh, yeah, that's actually really good.
Well, is that good?
Oh, I mean, yeah, we don't have a lot to do this turn.
Yeah,
right?
like this, we can play this and kill, like, a couple things.
Is that better, you think?
Like, the problem is we just don't do anything with 3 of our mana here. And our opponent does have 5 cards, so this guy's now smaller because of all the card draw. We do have potentially Undasta in, like, a turn. So this isn't a beast, right? Okay, it's not a beast. Because if this was a beast, we definitely want to play it to get out of our hands so we don't accidentally
I think playing Nash and Wishwood Grizzly is pretty reasonable here.
Yeah, I think we probably do want to... And the question is actually, like, because our opponent could play the Cannonball Barrage, right?
Yeah.
So we probably want to kill...
He's probably got 2 of those.
Yeah, we probably want to kill this guy.
Yep.
So I'm going to Nash.
Grizzly kills both anyway. That guy's going to get more value over time.
I mean, we could just play this, but then we have nothing else to do with our mana. Yeah, it's not like we can attack again with the hero power, so...
Yeah. He has 2 1/1s in play, so if he doesn't trade him in, we'll at least be able to use the Savage Tracker with hero power.
Right.
And drop some 1/1s.
But I think next turn we just want to Undasta, so...
Yep.
Which will summon one of these things. I mean, we could have tried to, play one of these and, like, hold it so that maybe this comes into play off the Undasta and it has 12 health. But I feel like this getting the bigger things into play and picking apart the board is pretty powerful.
I don't know exactly what's in our deck, but we have a bunch of our big beasts already. And
Uh-oh.
Oh, here we go. Here's Graw. Look at Graw's animation. I love the animation. It's
yeah,
really
that's actually kind of cool. He just humped a South Sea Captain. That's actually kind of scary because when this dies, we know he gets a South Sea Captain.
At least we know.
Yeah.
It's kind of. I really like that about that card as well, because you're thinking about it, and he gets on the board and he doesn't necessarily die right away, so both players get to think about, like, okay, what happens when I use this card?
I wonder.
But he's only a 5/5, so Undasta can still eat him. Ooh, baby. All right. Well,
It's not bad here.
I think we want to Undasta this and attack here,
Undasta is going to rip
likely.
some stuff out of our hand, give us less options for next turn, but we have Nourish if we ever run out of cards. Seems pretty simple. Just killing that guy, trading with the 3/3. Now we have lots of big guys in play.
All right.
If you can't deal with that somehow, then it's going to be a problem, because you can't really play minions, right?
Yeah. Well, he can play the
The captain will chop through the 3/4.
if he has a way to give it rush.
Cheated!
Oh, speaking of giving things rush, it's Captain Hook. Oh God. Okay. Oh, that's fairly sick.
Yeah, Captain Hook is one of my favorite cards. Another one of those cards that creates a lot of tension in deck building.
Yeah.
It's obviously like very powerful, but then at the end of the day,
wow.
it is an 8-mana rogue card, so you have to find a
Yeah.
way to really live it to the point where you can actually make it useful.
Okay. Huh.
That Darren's still a huge problem for him.
Yeah, this is still a pretty meaty fellow. Okay, let's get the tooth down. Okay.
So we are.
Oh, we've got one too.
We've even got it. Yeah. So we are really scared right now.
Yeah,
of
this is
Cannon Barrage, I think.
This seems terrifying. I don't know if my deck has a swipe or anything like that.
I don't know. I think
Because I have Savage Striker. I can always like Hero Power, punch Savage Striker. This kills this, which leaves him with 3 guys, and I can still do that after nourishing for cards. But if I don't have anything that could like any kind of AOE, then maybe I want to play Sharkfin Fan.
yeah. If you rip swipe, then that's really good. I was thinking that we are so close to dying here that maybe Predatory into Hoping for Witchwood Grizzly is one of the options too.
Well, but that I think, maybe that's good.
I mean, it's clearly like a hope. We don't know exactly what's in
Right.
our deck, but we're really far behind right now. So this is one of those.
I'm gonna nourish. Let's draw.
Maybe we'll see some new cards.
Yeah. Ooh, Stampeding Roar. Okay, another nourish. Not really what I was looking for. Gonk. All right. Well, you're gonna kill this.
Yeah, we're here powering. We're killing a guy.
Hero Power. This shoots this. I attack this. All right. So, well, this is scary.
He's gonna have at least 4 pirates in play because he's gonna attack, and then
And Cannon Barrage is every time I originally think of it, I'm like equal to your pirates. It's like no, it's 3 and
3
then
plus,
repeat
yeah.
for each pirate.
so he could potentially prep Cannon Barrage here, and then deal quite a bit of damage.
That's there too. Uh-oh.
He doesn't have that many cards left, so if he doesn't have
It's
Cannon
true.
Barrage, we're lucky. Ooh, the Hype Mon.
Hype Mon.
This thing gets so many different weird
Getting
stuff.
hyped.
Yeah. It's hard to find a way to play it just because it costs so much mana, but when you can get it off, like especially if you have the Spirit in play and you can get 2 of the 1 mana 1/1s with crazy battle cries, it'd be quite good.
All right. Well, that doesn't seem very good right here. Well. Huh. Or does it? I am at very low life.
Yeah, you can draw 3 potentially.
And I mean, this is definitely killing this.
Yeah.
And then I think
You
I could play this.
You can play both and
play
draw
Gonk,
3, but
kill
then
all
you go
3
to
of these.
you're just dead though, right?
No, I go to
you're 1
1.
off. Yeah.
I mean, not really gonna do well otherwise, right? Like I can Stampeding Roar, give one of these rush and kill this. That might be better.
You might get Gonk, which is the problem.
Well, if I get Gonk, it still kills this, right? It's kind of like playing. I think I do like the Stampeding Roar.
I mean, it has 4 attack, right? Am I missing something?
Oh no, you're right. Okay, yeah. I think it's still worth trying.
Yeah. Okay, we were good. And then we probably play Spirit to get the card. Kill the 2/1. Alright, so this isn't the worst. We're okay, we're hanging on by a
We're
thread
not dead
here.
yet. Ooh.
Yeah,
Then we
with
could potentially
the-
Gonk Pounce.
Sure.
We need armor though.
Gonk
Like,
and Pounce
that's
are
the
good.
big problem.
Gonk and Pounce are good with Twig
Especially
as
with
well.
this.
I wonder if we have a twig in our
Ooh,
deck.
Gonk Pounce Twig. Oh god.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
Gonk used to be like a 5-mana card. It was fine in a lot of cases, but sometimes you'd
With Twig, it
you'd like
seems
Gonk
outrageous.
Pounce with on Twig on turn 4, and that was not an okay circumstance.
Uh-oh. Oh god.
So this is gonna be a what?
Raiding party. Okay.
It's scary though, because if he draws,
Another weapon too?
he goes like.
No. Okay, so you only had these two
It's
weapons.
only goes
instead.
these guys.
Hey, good tickets don't come cheap.
Draw some more cards.
Oh god.
Yeah. He can't unless he has another prep. So he would have to hero power to break the. Or no, because he can just attack. I'm silly.
I think his attack, and then this attacks this.
Right. Yeah.
And he draws 2 more cards. Oh god. Oh god.
And then if one of those 2 cards is
Too soon.
the 6-mana one, then
Well, we're not getting barraged, clearly.
That's good.
Oh,
What is
okay.
this?
He's taking some damage so
Alright.
he can overkill this guy.
All right.
Alright,
We're still in
2
the
more
game.
cards. We're not dead yet. We are very low. Oh god.
Okay.
Alright.
That could also give us some new cards potentially.
Oh, that's really good.
That is actually.
That
insane
is
here.
that is excellent. Wow. So I think I want to punch this first and then play my Malfurion because I want to get the armor.
Yep.
So
Seems fine.
we also get a card. Boop. Malfurion is so good with Gonk. And with this. Oh man. Okay, well let's Malfurion.
Alright. I think we've gone from being in trouble to.
Yeah, I think we're doing all right now. Let's get
He's
some
gone through so many
scarabs.
pirates. He doesn't have too many cards in hand, so we seem like we're okay. I'm happy with this.
I can Shark Fin Fan, Gonk Pounce, wipe out a board, keep getting guys. Oh yes.
Yeah, I feel like we're playing pretty well.
I think we're doing all right.
I feel like we're doing good.
all right. Yeah.
So what do you think of the Feral Druid stuff so far?
I think it's pretty cool. Like I like the spirit a lot. I think the spirit's like pretty interesting, especially because it also can fit into like odd druid. I do think it probably makes sense that not everything can, like Pounce, not being able to fit into that. And also obviously Pounce can fit into way more decks as like a 0 cost +2 attack.
Yep.
As a odd druid fan, I would have loved for it to somehow fit into that deck, but I just said, oh, and there's the twig.
Okay, so this is interesting, right? Because you can do all kinds of weird stuff now. Well, not necessarily this turn, but if you were to play Twig, just imagine you have Twig and then you play Gonk and Pounce, and then there's like you have 20 mana to work with. Basically.
I almost do too many things here.
Yeah.
This is a newish card that he got off of the Lillian boss. Got 2 Raptors. That's so many cards I can get off of these if I just gonk and smash them.
Yeah, I think one of the only ways we're gonna lose is by like
Just taking a ton of damage.
smashing a bunch of things with our face.
Yeah, yeah.
But could still be fine. We get to draw cards. They're new. I thought that was the goal.
I know, right? All right, we're doing it.
All right.
And what we're gonna do is we're gonna gonk Pounce
Do you need to pounce?
so we can armor.
Okay. It's like the hedge. The hedge.
Exactly.
Yeah. I understand.
It also could let us play new cards.
Okay.
Look at this. Oh, you just keep attacking.
Very nice.
My turn is not.
Oh wow, look at this. All right, we'll armor.
Are you scared? Do you talk?
Oh, we can attack again, right?
Yeah.
Yes. We're just going off. Mondo combo right
Out of
here.
cards.
All right. What does he have?
Gotta have cannon barrages, but he doesn't have any pirates left.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, another hype mon. Okay.
Oh, he's gonna
He also
get-
has a bunch of random spells from Lillian Voss.
Oh yeah.
That's
yeah,
actually
right,
a lot
that's
of what his hand is, I
I
think.
see. Yeah. So he probably doesn't have cannon birds.
Yeah, he may have
like,
all
"No,
his
this
pirates
cannon
maybe
barrage,
gone, so now he just has Lillian Voss
We're
cards.
gonna trade.
Oh yeah, he's this. He gets
Mhm.
2 of them. Whew. And then, oh wow, that's actually kind of sick.
You think you've seen
This with this in
big
play.
Edwins before? There's some big
Oh
Edwins
my.
that come off the Spirit of the Shark.
Oh,
Of course, it's slightly different.
He
just
hasn't
because
played
it
enough
happens later.
off-class cards for like a Tess off of this to be scary. Mossy Horror?
Wow, blown out.
Wow.
Wow. I got killed twice. Okay. Healed a little bit. He's running out of cards again, though.
He is.
But we're running out of life.
We do not have much life. That's true. We can Claw, Hero Power, Savage Striker.
Can you break the twig? No, you can't. You can only attack 4 times.
We can attack this, Actually, here, let's play Twig. And this. Boom. Boom.
Where he's armoring.
Well, I think we attack attack, and then this attacks this, and we Savage Striker it.
We could just armor and claw.
But that doesn't work. Oh, we do have this. We can, and then no, because we do have the one attack.
Yeah.
Right. But no, we can't. We don't have mana to do that
Yeah.
at this point.
Too much mana.
We could just spellstone this and attack it too, and then armor up.
There were 1 mana off what we really wanted to do here. I think maybe Sharkfin Fan we didn't.
Yeah, but I wanted to.
That's
We get to attack a bunch of times.
You do what you want. All right, now you're running out of time, so I'm looking forward to seeing what you do.
All right.
And one of the reasons I like the Feral Druid stuff is you get to do a lot of these weird, crazy combos, which I think a lot of people like.
Yeah. Look at how many times I attacked that turn.
That is an insane amount of times. And also, it just plays a lot different than most of the Druid decks you got going on right now. There's a lot of
Ooh. Ah! That's not what I expected the rogue deck to do to me.
I can't imagine
Okay. Well, thankfully I can just keep attacking. I have so much mana to spend this turn. Oh my god.
I think it's like a nurse first, right?
I think we might run out of beasts.
Oh, yeah, it's
Yeah,
true,
we also
You're
yeah.
right, you're
We
right.
may not, do we even have a beast left? We've got to have a Whispered Grizzly.
Oh.
Yes.
That is a large Witchwood Grizzly.
Light and rot.
What do we even do? We have 2 cards left in our deck.
So we're probably never nourishing, never wild growthing.
I think we just attack this. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. So we just
Well,
play.
do we just play the shark? We have too many. We play the Sharkfin Fan first.
Just play it. Why don't you? I guess. Sure. Why don't you just play Witchwood
No,
Grizzly?
I guess you just want to play the Grizzly. Yeah. Okay.
Light and rot.
Large Witchwood.
Light and rot. Staggering.
Okay, and then these guys will just trade here. Go Sharks. Now we have room. We could have just done this first. Yeah, this is why I wanted to do this first. Ruin!
I guess I'm just like so. It's like we can't lose if we play the. It's hard to get it. It's hard to get out of that competitive
But
mindset.
now I want a Wild Growth.
Sure. So you get that. Get that.
We
last
make
card.
sure we have exactly every card when we kill him next turn.
Of course. Okay.
Now he's just gonna like Pyroblast me.
You just have so many.
He's just gonna Pyroblast me now because I attacked him instead of armoring.
Okay, so he's got.
Mark of Nature.
It's not a Pyroblast.
Stack. I'm out of cards.
Oh.
Now we just never know. I hate being in this position where you just have
Tear
one less
them
card.
apart.
All right, so that was our second game. We got to play some Feral Druid
Right.
with Heal Paladin and the Feral Druid. So we got a couple new decks.
All right, yeah. So Pounce definitely stands out to me as potentially just like a super powerful card.
Yeah,
Like,
quite powerful.
Obviously, yes, if you're playing the feral Druid deck or whatever, it's powerful. But just in a Druid deck,
Yeah.
like maybe not in the sort of Malagos combo style Druids because those decks are fairly like dense in terms of the cards that they sort of require.
Sure.
But
Maybe even then, though.
I was gonna say maybe even those if there is a meta game where you need sort of early game removal and it's like, well, I want to be able to Wild Growth and kill your guy on turn 2.
Yeah.
If there's like stuff like Knife Juggler-ish type cards where you really want to get rid of them in the early game and your mana is otherwise dedicated to nourishing Wild Growthing, it's like just gives you a little bit of extra damage to clear the board without having to actually expend mana, and that could be a really big deal in those kind of matchups.
It's obviously really flexible, as are all basically 0 mana or 1 mana cards.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times it functions as you can play a 4-drop on turn 4 and make a
Yeah,
tempo
kill a
play.
guy.
A lot of times you actually use it as functionally something very similar to something like Frostbolt, where it's turn 2 and you just kill at 3 health.
Oh yeah, I mean killing Cannon Barrage the very turn I finally traded off Pirates. Oh.
Poor Keaton / Chalky, or / Ryan / Reels. All right, so next game, what do we got?
I think we have Warrior is the deck that we are supposed to be playing next.
Oh, no,
no, we're playing Priest next. All right.
Priest and Hunter.
This is called Surrender Priest.
I
I don't know why this is called Surrender Priest.
I know why.
Is it because you try to get your opponent to surrender because you're just doing such awesome things they don't have a chance?
No.
Oh. Okay.
It's
Is it because it is guaranteed to be the favorite deck
Something-
of Surrender, the Asia Pacific player who made such a splash on the Hearthstone
Surrender's
Tour
actually
last
one of
year?
my favorite players.
All right.
He's an insanely good Hearthstone
He
player.
is very good.
But I believe it's because there's a card in this deck that has Surrender in the name.
Oh.
I think that we've already revealed it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I may have missed it.
Surrender to Madness, right?
Oh, yes, Surrender Madness. Okay, that makes much more sense than
Yes,
than
it
the
does.
reference to
Any of the other things you said, yeah.
things. Okay, well, let's draw our new cards. This is a new card.
It is, yeah.
219 or 214. I don't know why I said 19.
That is a large oak.
Divine Shield. This is an excellent target for Cabal Shadow Priest.
It is, yeah, it's extremely good. It's not bad for something like for like O-Card or something either, right?
That's true.
Or
Yeah.
something that you could play in Taunt Druid if
Yeah,
you want.
no, you could.
When we were playtesting Taunt Druid, it was obviously like a pretty powerful deck, and we thought it was more of a fringe piece that you might think about rather than something that just makes that deck a lot better.
Sure.
But there's definitely decks where having a 2/14 taunt, you don't have a silence or something, you're done.
All right. Well, I'm gonna mulligan all these.
Yep, sounds good.
So our opponent Reels, who's not actually chalky, he's playing Hunter, and Hunter is the one class I believe we have yet to see the Loa for, or
Yes,
the Spirit.
That is true.
So I'm excited to see what. Okay, so this card. I'm
Yeah,
excited to see the Loa and everything, but this card is one of the cards that I think is just like the most powerful in the new set. It's like really unassuming. You know, it's a 1-cost 1/1, but it has Rush and gives you an extra 1-cost 1/1 with Rush. This card seems so good to me.
It's extremely powerful. I think it's something that we expect to see in most Hunter decks for quite some time. I think a lot of times, especially when we're making like neutral cards, we don't generally like to make very generic cards that show up in a lot of decks, but sometimes I think it's okay. I think with Spring Paw, it's I think we're probably just passing here.
Yeah.
But with Spring Paw, it's something that feels very huntery. Like I think Rush in general feels very hunter.
Ooh, speaking of.
That's a new card.
Okay, Headhunters Hatchet, Battlecry. If you control a beast, get +1 durability. Oh.
It's like Stormforge decks, but without the overload.
Yeah.
Conditional, but it's
Well,
pretty easy to have a beast.
Hunter, I think, often wants weapons because it has a hero power that, while great at hitting your opponent in the face, is very bad at actually controlling the board.
Yep.
And early game weapons can be really good for allowing you to do that little bit of extra damage you need to kill an opposing minion. I remember before stuff like Flanking Strike, before Candle Shot, your opponent would play like a Frothing Berserker. You're like, well, I'm dead.
Yeah,
I can't kill this.
For sure. I think for any minion-based, tempo, slightly aggressive, mid-range deck like Zoo or something like that. Like imagine if Zoo had very good weapons as well. Then that'd be like very formidable. And I think even with like Tempo Warrior stuff, having cards like 2-mana Fari War Axe, a lot of these weapons help a lot of those minion-based decks. So.
Right, I feel like we're kind of in trouble here. We do a lot of our expensive stuff. This is the new card.
Spirit.
Oh dear. Stealth for 1 turn. Whenever you summon a beast, give it +1. Oh wow. Okay.
So what do you think?
That's pretty terrifying.
That's first reaction.
Well, I expect that he's going to play like several beasts next turn. I'm already behind. I was feeling like all right because I have this Tar Creeper. I'm like, okay, I can defend myself pretty well.
Yeah.
But that's not going to kill this.
How are you going to kill it?
I don't know. We're just going to play Surrender of Madness, and no, we're not doing that. So this is one of the most interesting cards in the new set.
It is.
Because, obviously, destroy 3 of your main crystals.
When do you play it?
Yeah, when do you actually want to do it? And I think the answer is not right now.
I think that would be bad. Yeah. I think you also have a new card in your hand.
Which one? Is it? Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even see this card.
Very
I
unassuming.
was too busy talking about Spring Paw and stuff. It's a dragon. I can't believe I missed this dragon. Dragon Must Scorcher. Battlecry, deal 1 damage to all the minions. Wow, okay. So this is pretty powerful against stuff like Odd Paladin, obviously.
Sure, of course.
And pretty powerful in a deck that cares about damaging its own minions or potentially damaging other minions. We're just going to play this for now.
Okay. Yeah, because it's a neutral card, so I think that the first thing that jumps out to you is probably Warrior.
Yeah,
especially
Warrior,
if
if it wants to
Warrior's
damage your own
dragon
stuff.
Yep.
Right. Or any dragon deck, obviously. Pretty powerful. Jeez.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Oh god! So this is not even you play; it's when you summon.
Yep.
So this with Unleash, you get a bunch of 2/2 hounds. Oh wow, that is
something that we do sometimes that can be pretty dominating is you play that behind a snake trap. Summons and they all become 2/2s.
Well, I have this new-ish card that was revealed before, but is still kind of new. This would be a 2/7 for 4 right now.
Versus the 2/6.
Versus a 2/6. This could get less expensive if he plays more stuff, though. So I could also, if I wanted to, coin out this, which would kill this. But that seems pretty bad. I think I'd rather play something that can attack into this and then play this guy.
Yep, that seems pretty
so
safe.
I think we want to play the Shellraiser, actually. Because I think there's a decent chance he plays multiple things this turn.
Yeah, I think in that circumstance, I guess I would have played the Ravel Bouncer just because if we don't destroy that 0/3,
sure,
we're gonna die.
That's true.
That's.
But
so
if he has any additional damage, he kills either one, basically, right?
Yeah.
Oh god. Oh god. Huh.
So he's just gonna chop through. We hope he doesn't.
I hope he does it like this. This guy, like, value trades, and then I get to scorch it. Oh. He's value trading.
Wow.
Okay, well, we're going to at least
so
kill this.
we got a little lucky there.
Ooh. Arena Fanatic.
I think that might also be new.
I think this is new. Battlecry, give all minions your hand plus one. Oh, this is like a new hand buff card.
Yep.
It's a neutral. So it's a 2/3 version of the 1/1 that existed, the outfitter from.
Right.
Okay. So it's a neutral card though. So it's like, you know, you're generally gonna
Being
it's gonna be able
able
to
to
synergize with more different things.
Sure. Yeah, when you have stuff like Zoo and Warlock or whatever, and you're just drawing a bunch of cards, I think when you compare it directly to, I think it was Grime Shooting Pursuer is his name.
Yeah. All right. I think we have to just play this.
Yeah, I think so too. Grime Shooting Pursuer is quite powerful as well.
All right. And I feel like we're still in a very scary position. We're pretty low in health.
I got 3 cards though.
Yeah.
And if he actually does like swarm like crazy, like we have.
We do have
Rebel
this,
Bouncers,
right?
pretty
So
good.
we have some tools.
What do you think of Zihi?
This guy?
Yeah.
Oh, I love this card.
Cool.
So one of the things that I have said that I was hoping to see in pretty much every set this year.
Oh, here
this
it is. All right. Oh, we have to stop.
What? 3/2. What the? 3/2 for 5. Battlecry. Fill your hand with 1/1 lynxes that have rush.
So it's like the backside of Springtime, basically.
Okay. So it's Springer Claw. All right. So this is obviously very powerful, you know, to go with any kind of beast synergy thing. It can be incredible, like to enable like the quest.
With the spirit, you know, obviously.
With
it's quite
obviously
good.
with the spirit,
Yeah.
right? You have the spirit itself. You play this, and you get a bunch of 2/2s. Super powerful with something like Scavenging Hyena.
Yep.
Or you know, Buzzard if you're into that.
You're into yeah. You're into nostalgia.
Yeah. Jeez. Okay. Well, we can't even kill this. This is crushing us. This Leok is destroying us because he's gonna have a bunch of guys with rush.
I must consider.
Huh. I feel like we're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. We could play hand buff in like Cleric or something, or hand buff in Coin Acolyte. It's okay.
Yeah, I think that might be our best plan.
Yeah. Because the other plays don't really like. If there's one thing that we know our opponent's gonna do, he's gonna play a bunch of minions.
Right.
So we're not that scared about Rabble Bouncer being unplayable.
Right. And we really need to try and get rid of this.
Yep. It's gonna be hard to do because
Right. We need to find
Rush
that
2/1 rush
another
guys.
one of those AoE dragons. I feel like this deck is going to be very minion heavy thanks to Surrender. You feels like you want to play, build a deck like this. All right. I had also sort of assumed there'd be another weapon in the set when I saw this card. I was like, oh, there must be another hunter weapon, and lo and behold, a secret. Uh-oh. Oh God.
So we're pretty far behind. Like I think that's the kind of situation where you look to play something like Surrender is when like you can land an Acolyte or something like that, right? Like something where you know you're going to be able to draw some stuff.
Right.
That's
Well,
like
yeah. Huh. Well, if only we'd played this then drew this.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we may just have to like hope, just kind of play this into Surrender or something, and hope to draw like another chain gang. Because if we play Surrender, we can still draw a 5 next turn, and we still play a 5 next turn, which could be the AoE dragon, could be chain gang. These are like pretty low impact anyway on this style of board.
Yep.
So I feel like we kind of need to just like
We
get
just need to-
something.
We need to start doing some stuff.
Right. So we're gonna play Surrender to Madness.
We
Boom.
could play the second Surrender Madness?
Not yet.
No. Too early. Too early. Yeah.
Not just yet. Thankfully, this wasn't like a snipe.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, this is a Zihi combos a little bit, right? Because I mean, if you get if you go back down to very low amounts of mana or whatever, you can
Right,
play
you can
Zihi and then
play
kind
this
of
and-
equalize
yeah.
the board again.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're behind right now.
Oh,
so
we're
it's gonna-
really
That's
behind.
gonna be hard for
We
us
are
to do.
really behind.
He can just play 4.
Does he have 4 lynxes?
I believe he does. Yeah. I mean, I think he filled his hand with like 8.
I forget exactly how many cards he had in his hand at this point. This is, oh my God, this Leok has just been crushing us this whole time. And it wouldn't be if it weren't for the spirit. Oh God.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, because it gained the 1 health, right?
Yeah, it would be dead.
So this deck is definitely mostly about mid-range beasts and stuff.
Ow. All right. I'm feeling like we're going to have a tough time winning this one.
I'm feeling pretty dead here.
Wait.
No. That wasn't what I was expecting, but it accomplishes basically what was going to happen.
The same thing I can accomplish with any other play.
Right, yeah, that's true, that's true. Yeah, I think in these matchups where you're getting really behind, it's going to be hard to get off surrender.
Right, yeah. It feels pretty difficult to use that. Like, it feels like surrender is a powerful card in like mid-range control-y type matchups where you can invest in your future. You have a little bit of time to be like, okay, I need to make the rest of my threats in my deck into things that can end the game by themselves, or at least very difficult for my opponent to deal with.
Sure.
It seems like even just drawing the surrenders, not even playing them and being behind in mana in a matchup like that, it's like I don't have time to spend the 3 mana to sort of hope that I draw these bigger taunts.
You have to do some setup. So.
And it feels like in particular you really do want cards like Acolyte of Pain, like Cleric, like the Champion, that give you big bursts of card draw after the fact, so you can play it and then immediately draw those cards and use them rather than like waiting and hoping to draw them.
Right.
All right, well, I think we have one more matchup that we're going to play.
I think there's Warrior. I'm not sure if we're
Dragon
playing Warrior or not.
Warrior.
Warrior versus Shaman. So we've got the Warrior.
All right, let's do it. All right.
Dragon guards.
I am ready to dragon him. And I think that we saw that new dragon, and there's the armor dragon. There's a bunch of...
5/5, gain 5.
I wasn't even paying attention to the fact that were we playing on this board before? I totally missed it if we were. I was like too focused, like laser focused on the new cards, and I hadn't even clicked anything on the new board. All right. Well, I've seen all these cards. These are the newish ones.
Akali's really awesome. I really like Akali.
Akali seems pretty sweet.
Yeah, getting Ziliax off.
Oh yeah.
Is very good. Very happy about
gigantic lifesteal, divine shield rush. All right, we're gonna mulligan. I'm gonna keep the dragon.
Okay.
Because I want to have a dragon in my hand. I feel like it's also a new card, so.
We like new cards.
Yeah.
Very Shield Maiden-esque.
Yeah.
But it's a dragon, so it's better.
All right. So, ooh. Okay. Well, we have a lot of
Fire Tree Witch Doctor, right?
We have. This card is really interesting.
Ones.
Yeah. This
quite good.
This seems quite powerful because it's cheap card, which a lot of dragon decks will want. We don't have Netherspite Historian anymore, so having an early play that can utilize the fact that you want to have dragons for your other cards, and this can go into obviously any kind of dragon deck, like Dragon Priest. Priest is a class that has a lot of situational cards, right? If you get like a Mass Dispel or a Silence or whatever else, knowing the matchup you're into. Ooh, new card. Dragon Roar. Add 2 random dragons to your hand. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I really like this card a lot. Because a lot of the dragons accomplish pretty similar things. They're kind of like bigger, later game cards. So it's not so random in that you'll get something completely different each time. It's like you generally know what's going to happen.
You usually get a mid-sized to large minion.
Right, and sometimes you end up with stuff like Nozdormu, where cards that you wouldn't normally play.
I always love getting Nozdormu off of anything.
Yeah, for sure. And one of the reasons I like Fire Tree Witch Doctor is Discover plays so much differently in different classes. Warrior spells are like very unique.
Feel like we want a Shield Slam. We have this.
Yep, Shield Slam's good to me.
Let's Shield Slam it up.
That's a card on the left. On the left side?
This was revealed earlier, but if you haven't seen that and you're watching along at home, Battle Cry, if you're holding a dragon, destroy a damaged enemy minion. So this is an execute effect, which is interesting for a couple of reasons. One, it's a 3 cost, so you could play Odd Dragon Warrior and have access to an execute effect, which you normally can't. So this is starting to look kind of scary, because we just got our Witch Doctor zapped and we're falling behind this.
Right, and we've seen Crowd Roaster as well, right?
We could have gotten an Inner Rage from that and used Inner Rage plus our Lancer. And yeah, we did see Crowd Roaster.
What do you think of this card?
This is pretty interesting. Obviously, the stats in it are kind of skewed. It's pretty easy to kill. I was always a fan of Rend Blackhand back in the Blackrock Mountain days, and this can kill most things that Rend would, but it can also just kill other things. It can't kill like an 8/8 dragon, which is a big deal. It can't kill like a Ysera.
It almost says destroy. I mean,
yeah.
It's pretty close to that.
So you can play both of them in the same deck. You just have on turn 7, you're just always in wild. You're just always killing whatever they play.
Always have ran Black Hand or Crowd Register. That's quite the deck. I'm excited for you to build it.
I feel like I may just want to play a Smolderstone Lancer just for tempo here.
I think you have to, yeah.
We're just playing a 3/2. My dragon be hungry. It almost looks like she's riding a turtle.
A turtle, yeah.
I was just looking at that. I'm like, kind of looks like it's not in the air. It kind of looks like a.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah, okay.
All right.
Okay, what do we got?
Voltaic Burst. Okay.
That's not bad for us.
No, this is okay.
It's fine.
We can coin out this Dragon Moss Scorcher next turn if we so choose.
I think we have to, right?
Yeah. Oh, this is kind of annoying for our
really
Scorcher.
annoying.
Yeah, because now we won't be able to
Super
actually get this off. Ooh, so this is a card that I really like. This is obviously one of the very first cards revealed, but oh no, I have more dragons. Okay, we're gonna coin out the Scorcher. It's a bummer that this is gonna heal, so we won't be able to Lancer it. I like the synergy between these two.
Yep.
Like this is obviously good against small minions. One of the big things with execute effects is that you still need ways to enable them, right? And having this as a potential like combo late in the game or to set up over turns, I think is nice.
Yeah, Scorcher I think was a little bit unassuming in playtesting, but that ended up being quite powerful, especially in Warrior where you're able to like utilize all the different things that you can do when things are damaged.
All right. Well, we have this, so I don't think we're really afraid of our opponent having a board full of small
Not super
stuff.
scared. I think we just play the Drake.
Yeah, I just want to. It's like is that rawr the dragon language version of I can take the hit?
Yes. Yeah, this is the direct translation. So we can still do. Oh, we can't. Oh yeah, we can still Drake and Shield
we
Summon
can have the
too
other
as
Drake
well.
plus Shield Summon. That's another reason that like just playing the Drake there feels good, because now I still have this combo available. Ooh, a Thrall. All right. All right. Well, my Sulthraze seems like it may be worse now, but
It's still pretty good.
still pretty good. Yeah. I can't hack through this one first. I'd have to like attack then attack.
Yeah, something Sultars does is make me do things that are like too fancy a lot of the times. It's like, well, I'll get the overkill, but like I didn't need to for whatever reason.
I mean, we can just attack here. So
Yeah, I think probably playing Drake and Shield Summoning here is pretty good.
I kind of like just Sulthrazing here. You attack here, and then you Sulthraze. I guess I can't Sulthraze both these. I can like attack this, then this.
Yeah,
But
you just put 3 minions in play.
yeah,
You could play Dragon War too.
there's so many things I can do.
I wonder.
I feel like I want to kill the biggest thing because of this though. So I do think I want to Sulthraze. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna attack here. We're gonna get fancy.
This is very fancy.
We're getting fancy.
So we kill everything. Which is
Yeah, we're
good.
just killing everything. Hack, hack, hack. I want to get rid of all the things. So yeah, that's one of the interesting things about overkill. And one of the things I really like about the mechanic overkill, like it creates so many more permutations of like the decision tree for any given turn.
Yeah.
Where like I have this overkill thing. Do I want to, and especially with something like this that's repeatable, it's like, do I want to like use this as efficiently as possible, like from a damage perspective or from a immediate impact perspective as far as my board clear, or am I trying to maximize it over turn? So I want to like attack your 4 health guy, then attack another 4 health guy. So there's a lot of interesting possibilities like that. So I haven't even been clicking the board.
Smash, smash.
Ooh. And the second one overloads, or overkills rather.
Like this Rhino.
Rhino. Okay.
Our Dragon's pretty good here
I
though.
feel like we just want to roast her, yeah.
I think so, yeah. We would like to roast it. Yeah, I really like Overkill. The outputs are so much different that the keyword itself plays a lot differently in different decks.
Right.
Just based on like if you have an Overkill that says get a bunch of spells like with Blast Wave,
Yeah.
you want to use that in a totally different kind of deck than you probably want to use. Like Sulthraze can even be used in a lot of different ways. You can use it like as a tempo play to be really aggressive. You can use it for 16 damage, or you can use it as just like another big removal card like Brawl.
Yeah, and it's also interesting because like a lot of times for a lot of the decks in Warrior right now really lean toward being Odd Warrior because the Baku hero power is very powerful. Whereas this is a very powerful card for any kind of like tempo style of Warrior deck because not only can this like take out multiple minions, which Super Collider can do, but this can also go face for a lot of damage over time.
Yeah.
All right, so I think
This is a little bit
I'm
awkward
out of
for us.
dragons, huh?
Well, it's a little
I
bit
could Dragon
awkward.
Roar.
Yeah, you can Dragon Roar, but then you can only do 5 damage with your...
We can do boom boom.
Yeah, but then that's awkward too, right? But that's not bad.
We trade this up. We still have a 3/7.
That's fine. We lose the 3/3, but that's okay.
And then next turn we could potentially Dragon Roar. Well, we can also just attack this Dragon Roar Ember Scale Shield Slam. Maybe that's better.
I think that's a lot of resources for this thing.
Well, no, we're Dragon Roaring. We'll just do this.
Our Shield Slam's pretty important.
So this is the Rush minions are immune the turn they're summoned. Boom.
I think Warbur is actually quite good. We've been using it in a lot of decks and playtesting for quite some time now.
This card seems very powerful. Like as a neutral minion, like both Rush and Taunt are very powerful defensively oriented keywords.
Yep.
If you're behind in the board against like a bunch of stuff, oftentimes you play a Taunt minion, your opponent's like, okay, kill it, and you smash it. With this, you can often like kill their biggest thing first. So even if they do have a removal spell for your Taunt, like you're not just totally destroyed.
And obviously with Big Bud.
Ooh, okay. All right.
So it's going to Death Rattle into a 9-cost right now.
All right. So that means I probably don't even want to kill it here, necessarily. I may just throw this into it because I have... this is interesting.
Yeah, you have the right stuff to do. You can play Worgen, you can play Ember Scale, and
I can actually, just kill it, right?
It's going to give him a 9-cost minion.
Well, but I can send these two in, which kills it, and then I can...
Salt Rays and potentially Shield Slam?
Or just swing Lancer,
oh,
potentially.
yeah, that's true.
I think that's what we're going to do.
Seems good.
Maybe I actually just want to swing... no. There's a lot of possible things I can do here. There's so many options.
We have enough life, so we're okay. Especially
I think I actually just want to do this and attack into this guy, because the thing that I'm going to swing into is going to be bigger than this, most likely.
Oh yeah, because you swing.
Right. So I swing into this and then I play this into Lancer. Just kidding.
Or not. It's fine. And now we're like even sad to... We can play Dragon right here.
I wonder if he even has... I'm just doing this.
Yeah.
If he doesn't have a dragon, I don't care about this thing. Ooh, we got a Crowd Roaster. Jeez.
More roasting. Sleepy Dragon's not bad either.
I'm like, the thing he gets out for a 9 is going to be bigger. That's actually one thing that I found with all the... There's so many like weak hits with Evolve, like so many points of the chain now. There's so many times that you're just like, oh, oops.
Yeah, it's kind of like Unstable Evolution.
That's especially cool. with the nerf to Giggle Inventor. It's like hitting that at 7. You're like, oh no. Yeah. But yeah, the Unstable Evolution I feel like is the safest of the Evolve cards. You're like, all right, let's go again. Speaking of,
really good with Kragmaw as well.
Ooh.
I think we just like we definitely should have killed the minion, right? Because he's got the Evolve here for. But we just
detail. We were too busy talking about other things. You're right. Oh god.
Oh wow, that's actually insane.
We were too busy. I forget what we even talked. Oh god.
Burst and then just Evolve a bunch of stuff. Wow, this got really bad.
This did get really bad for us.
Really bad.
Oh no.
That's actually. Really
what did we do?
We messed up.
We did mess up, really, pretty badly.
Oh, I think we would have kept that tutu. That's not bad.
Yeah, that tutu seemed pretty good.
It's time for a little blood.
I wonder if that's Kragmaw in his hand. We're the final design team, which is the
I
bounce
love
team,
Kragmaw. Yeah.
I just want to let everyone know that we're big Kragmaw fans. So
I love
we're
that card.
Frog fans here. So if you're wondering at home, which team do I follow?
Oh god.
The right answer is Kragmaw's team.
Huh. Everything about this is really scary. So I can play like these guys who are both immune.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying, right? Because we want to...
Everything about this... Well, this guy...
Yeah, he's going to turn into our Primordial Drake.
Yeah, so... We could like attack here, give him this guy, and execute it. But he gets... Oh my god, this is all just such a mess.
He'll get the Rush card, which isn't the worst.
I wonder... Maybe I... Oh my god, we screwed this up so badly by not killing the thing.
Very bad.
I totally blanked on this because I was talking about how there's so many bad evolution targets, and then I was like, oh, actually.
I think we have to play the Rush card, right?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, or the Lancer, but we can't give him a Primordial Drake. That's not a thing.
I'm boss and furious!
Then we can roast it?
Yeah? Yeah, let's roast this.
Yeah, those other things are so threatening.
Come on.
This makes our shield slam a lot worse too. But if he sacks the next thing into anything, then
We still have this.
yeah.
So
I'm gonna laugh.
he gets 2 more cards from this.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe we should have killed that. And it is hard. How do you stream? How do you talk to your stream and also play Hearthstone? It seems impossible to me.
Oh god, this is just
This is a
so
problem.
painful. We need an Akali here.
Kali would be good.
I don't even know if that'd be good because we're just gonna lose to this Megathune at this point.
Arena's full.
Well, I mean, we have Lancer, which is pretty sick. Life's good.
Oh god, that card is actually pretty sick with evolves. Nice. Okay. Devastate.
New card,
PogChamp. Deal 4 damage to a damaged minion. Okay. Huh.
4 damage is a lot.
4 is a lot of damage, yeah. So this is an execute-ish effect. It's not quite execute.
Sure, it's old execute.
Yeah.
A lot of times, like 4 damage is effectively the same
Yeah.
thing as execute.
Okay, so we can actually kill everything here, right? Because we can armor up, shield slam, Gruul. This actually Gruul. It's Gruul the Dragon Killer. That's like his like title in
that's
WoW. So we don't want to be killed. We're dragons.
Yes.
So what we're gonna do
We're definitely
is
gonna armor up shield slam that thing.
yeah.
That's like
The question is, yeah, this is happening. Armor up, shield slam. Let's do this before we start roping and getting busy talking about random things.
like
And then we
5
can
for it.
attack. We could also play this too. I think we may want to play this, just get more on the board.
Okay.
So
Wait for the other 3/3
Yeah.
the next turn.
and then this smashes Megathune.
It's good. It's good. We went from a really bad position to really not that
I
bad.
I think Reels took pity on us and attacked our 0-3 with the 10-10, and that had a lot to do with why we're in a better position
Maybe.
now.
Yeah, I wasn't really paying attention to see if he was doing the right thing or not there. But thanks, Niels. We appreciate that.
We appreciate that. It's much better that we had 6 armor than 0 armor, so we could use our shield slam. Uh-oh.
That card's good. That card's quite good. Sometimes like someone plays that card against you in arena, and you're like, wow, that's just really good.
Okay.
Oh wow, we can just roast him.
Yeah, but he gets so many guys.
Is he gonna bloodlust?
I was gonna say he's gonna bloodlust us. We have a primordial drake.
Yeah, but like not this turn.
Well, we could like
Oh,
attack
yeah,
here.
We could attack. Yeah,
We could either trade off our board. The problem is it kills all of our guys, or we use our devastate.
It's okay because I mean we have a primordial drake afterwards.
We could also just play a sleepy dragon and go face, which is not unreasonable.
I think normally in this situation I just kill all of the stuff.
But then we won't have stuff.
We'll have a primordial drake.
Huh? Well, the question is, like, do we want to use our devastate, or do we want to like actually trade off all of our stuff and just have the drake?
Yeah, I think trade.
I kind of like just playing sleepy dragon, because if he attacks into the sleepy dragon, we can just like then trade one of our small things into it in primordial drake.
That's fine.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
And this way we get to do
Probably not
11
gonna-
damage to our opponent. That's so much damage.
Keaton always tells me that I undervalue going face.
Damage is nice.
Yeah, damage is also.
Do you know the win condition of a game of Hearthstone?
I do.
It is your opponent having 0 health.
Or you have no cards in a mech.
That is another option, yes.
Oh my
Ooh.
gosh. Fester hook. Okay.
All right. Look at how well this is going to work out for us. Look at this.
Yeah, because we just get to devastate.
We don't have to devastate. Oh, another devastate. Well,
We don't have to.
this guy's going to die, so he's going to trade.
I'm like off screen.
And then we can just like, attack this guy in.
Yep.
And then...
Dragon food.
We definitely. This is the primordial. Do we trade our 5/2 in as well?
I think we do, because we don't want to evolve this.
Yeah.
We could also just double devastate it and keep this in go face.
Yep. That seems better.
Yeah.
There's no. If we had stuff that synergized with devastate in our hand, maybe we'd
Right.
keep it. But
I feel like we'd rather just have the body, and
Yeah.
like we're putting him 1 turn away from lethal this way.
that's true. It's true.
But yeah, as we were saying, the way to win a game of Hearthstone is to reduce that number to 0. So when you attack your opponent in the face, it gets it closer to 0.
That's true. That's true. You're very smart. So what do you think of the dragon deck so far?
I think it's pretty cool. I like the fact that it's a sort of different direction for dragons than we've seen Warrior have in the past. There's a lot of like, sort of aggro-ish. We're gonna overkill that guy.
Hear your heart. There.
Boom.
sound of bats.
We first had to overkill that. Now we will overkill our opponent's face.
Perfect. So we went 3 and 1. This is successful,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I think that the dragon stuff seems pretty cool. I like. Ooh, look, we got a mount.
Nice. GG reels. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of dragon stuff in playtesting. I think mixing some of the dragon things with also some of the mech things has been really good too. Because there's some Zodiac stuff, and you obviously have like Dynamatic and the 1/3s. So there's like a dragon mech deck that we're playing a little bit of that was really cool. Just the pure dragon stuff is pretty cool. Like War Master Voon is it's hard to use. But like when you can pull it off in some of those games, it is like one of the most powerful cards.
Yeah, that card seems really powerful. One of the things I like is like the existence of Dragon Roar. Dragon Roar is obviously like a pretty cool like value style card, but also like gives you sort of another cheap way to ensure that you have your dragon synergies. It also feels like it's the card that makes the games play out differently.
Absolutely.
Because like that game, it's like, oh, I got a Sleepy Dragon. How do I make the best use of the Sleepy Dragon that I got? How to make the best use of the Nozdormu that I might get?
Totally.
And also, like you said, you can sort of have that package that can mix and match with different other groups of stuff. It's like, am I odd dragon control warrior? Am I like a sort of tempo dragon warrior that wants to use Sulphraze to like slash through my opponent's stuff and finish them off?
Dragon Roar is one of my favorite cards just because it's the kind of randomness that is actually pretty cool. I think it makes, like you said, it makes games play out a lot differently, and just you kind of know what you're getting into when you're playing against a dragon. And I think that when you sort of gain mastery over the game and you're learning all these cards, you can actually think in your head, like, oh, what are the outcomes that I'm worried about, not worried about? Because there's not like, there's not hundreds and hundreds of dragons. There's like a pretty limited pool, and you kind of know like the ones that are the most powerful for a given situation.
It's like, how do I play around Crowd Roaster? How do I play around like Ysera or Deathwing? There's and that while there are a lot of powerful things that you can get, you're not going to get like a Wisp. Like I've been playing a bunch of Stormbringer Shaman, and it's like, okay, there's make a bunch of legendary minions, and sometimes you're like, I just got a bunch of 2/2s.
So
whereas with dragons,
it's
like
cards that you can reasonably play around, and it's just really fun too. It's like getting a bunch of dragons is cool, and like you said, there's a bunch of cards that say when you're holding a dragon, and it just makes it a lot easier to do so.
And in particular, Dragon Roar with War Master Voon, which is the copy all dragons in your hand. If you haven't seen that one at home, gives you the possibility to have all kinds of crazy stuff. It's like I have a game where I have like 2 Nozdormus, 2 Yseras.
A card like Dragon Roar just allows you to, when you're building a deck, you want to have a good mix of a bunch of removal stuff, but you still need to have enough late game stuff if you're playing a control deck. Whereas if you play Dragon Roar, it affords you the opportunity to play a few more removal cards and a few more early game cards to combat some of those aggressive strategies, because you have one card that's really going to give you a ton of gas, and you have, in the super control matchups, you have one card that can potentially turn into 4 dragons because you have Voon as well.
Yeah, and in particular, not pushing you toward fatigue either, because it doesn't actually draw cards; it creates them from outside the game.
Exactly.
So I think we saw all of the new cards in these decks. Want to make sure that we didn't miss anything. We have a list of the names of them at least.
Oh yeah, I think we have. You want to?
I don't know that we see
hatchling, right?
Okay, we're gonna go into the collection
here.
Here.
Pull up the deck list, right? Or no, because these are reels and decks, right?
Yeah, we got to go into the collection here. We're gonna look at these decks real quick to make sure that we saw everything. So
yeah, this is the Dragon
Warrior. For those of you
who
may not have seen them, this was Devastate.
Believe, Devastate, Dragon War, and Dragon Moss Scorcher.
I need to drag a card away to remove it, so that goes away. So Devastate. This is one of the cards you saw there. Deal 4 damage to a damaged minion, like we said, kind of like an execute. Can't necessarily get the biggest of things, but will generally kill most sort of like mid-rangey stuff that's damaged.
Yep.
And then Dragon Roar, which we were just talking about, adds 2 random dragons to your hand. Just talked at length about how cool that can be in a lot of instances.
Dragon Moss Scorcher, the 5 mana card. We saw that in the priest deck first, but it synergizes quite well, I think, with the warrior stuff. I think for priest, sort of struggles with AOE too.
Yeah, this I think obviously can be proactively powerful against, or rather with your own things like a Frothing Berserker or with Acolyte of Pain, anything like that, and also obviously very very strong reactively against something like Odd Paladin.
Sure. A lot of times something Priest will do is they'll play like Pyromancer and Cleric circle turns, and where this kind of gives you, I've definitely seen in playtesting people playing Dragon Moss Scorcher and then finding ways to play Cleric and Circle as well, and you're just drawing a bunch of cards that way.
Sure. Yeah. That's definitely cool. And then some other stuff with Undasta Boonship.
Oh, we
did not see this come into
play. We didn't get to
play.
do the whole thing. Yeah, Akali, we were talking about earlier. Akali, there's a bunch of really good targets, but stuff like Ziliax from
I didn't even think of
Project,
Warbear Akali. That's cool.
Warbear Akali is quite good.
And then Warmaster Voon, we were gonna double up on all those bad boys. This is one of the cards that as you're mentioning that I really like, the Fire Tree Witch Doctor, because like we were saying, there's so many opportunities to get situational cards that you wouldn't necessarily put into your main deck. Like we had the option of Inner Rage there, and sometimes like just whether in a matchup or in a game state, it's like I really need to Inner Rage execute something next turn, so I want to take the Fire Tree Witch Doctor and use the Inner Rage this turn. So.
Right. There's a lot of decks that have used Discover a spell or like Discover a card in the past. I think Warrior has been one of the classes that utilizes Discover. Tends to be, I think, one of the least. So I think seeing Discover and Warrior and like the pool of Warrior spells is really unique. So that's kind of cool.
All right, let's check out. Oops. Oh, there's another Devastator in there. It's going to get an automatic card.
That's fine.
So the Heal Paladin deck.
The Heal Paladin early ones. We had Bloodclaw and Ornery Tortoise.
Bloodclaw here. So this one, this is clearly intended, I imagine, either to be very aggressive Paladin deck, because obviously this could just be like punch for 4.
Yeah, could be.
This could be a powerful board control card like Odd Paladin, for instance.
Yeah.
In addition to obviously having a lot of synergy with the healing cards that we have seen in this deck. Did I miss Flash of Light being revealed? Because this was a card that I saw in this deck, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that we had seen this before.
Let's just assume it's new.
All right. Flash of Light.
Great. Yeah, restore 4 health, draw a card. Holy Light is 6 health, but this one is cycles, right?
Yeah, and one of the things that I think Paladin, wants for its healing effect is that sort of cantrip effect, the draw card, because being able to tag that on to your enablers or to your output stuff, like whether it's I'm blanking on the names of some of these cards still, just like you were talking about. Sometimes you forget.
Yeah.
There's one right in front of me, Spellstone. We'll say Spellstone. Having to actually commit a full card to getting just an upgrade in your Spellstone is kind of tough. But if you're getting that effect plus a card draw, if you're getting that effect plus like a minion attack with something like a Chillblade Champion or Corpse Taker, it's obviously a lot easier to justify.
Some of these buff decks have some really important cards too. Like if you shuffle a Prelate into your deck that's really, really buffed, like suddenly these cycle cards tend to be a lot better just because you have these really high power cards like Shivala as well.
Yeah, and Shiro the Tiger down here.
Shiro the Tiger.
This card, this card is sweet. Yeah.
The art is so cool too. I love the art, and then the entrance animation that we didn't get to see was like super amazing.
Yeah, I'm bummed that we won the game too quickly. We only had like 4 cards in our deck. One of them was Shiro.
We did.
But what were the other? There's the Ornery Tortoise. Yeah, this is the other new card. So this is, as you mentioned during the game itself, both a potentially powerful tool for a heal Paladin deck, and also just you're playing a deck that wants a solid beast. Like you want to Houndmaster it. You want to have something sitting there for kill command. You're just playing like an aggressive hunter deck, and you're like, you know what? I just want this big body. It's not necessarily aggressive. Only has 3 attack for 3 mana, but it's unlikely to get killed that easily because it has so much health.
Yeah, there's a lot of decks out there that when they lose, they very rarely lose because they ran out of life. They lose because they ran out of stuff, and like they were the forward motion deck that was pushing the pace, and they had all of the things answered. So dealing 5 damage to your hero in some decks just isn't really necessarily that big of a downside.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go on to I think we had the Feral Beast deck.
I think we just had Pounce in this.
I think Pounce is the only like new card here,
right.
Which I actually don't know if we've seen the Scavenger either. But Pounce obviously is the big standout card from this deck. As we mentioned, very powerful with Gonk, giving you this very powerful like swing turn later on where you can smash down a bunch of different things. Also, just potentially a strong card just as a 0 mana removal spell, as a tempo card for any kind of mid-range Druid deck, maybe even combo Druid decks that are looking to just survive the early turns against aggression.
Like I said, functions as a Frostbolt a lot of times. I've certainly seen some Twig on 6 into Gonk plus Pounce 7 into some wild crazy stuff. Right? Yeah. So it's always something you have to be aware of, is that they can play their card, and they can also do this to extra damage. I think it's going to be in a lot of Druid decks, I think specifically in this deck for sure, but also it's like all the Druid decks that exist now. I think you should be thinking about, like, can you fit Pounce in the deck, and is that something worthwhile?
And the other card, I don't know that we had seen this before, but this guy, not really a Druid card, neutral card, but a decent defensive tool against small minion-based decks with the stealth. The opponent can't just take it off the board and then overkill of smashing their small things and just keeping you alive. So they want to kill it, but they can't kill it right away, and you're likely to get at least one sort of value trade that can maybe give you some armor.
What do you think about this card in a deck like your quest paladin.
Well, that I think is potentially quite strong.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that the buff decks generally want is a minion that's going to survive.
Yep.
And you know, if you play this, say you like coin this out on 3, turn 4, you're like you play Blessing of Kings, smash your guy, gain some armor. It's like, okay, it's hard for them to kill it. You're likely to be able to keep attacking and gaining armor because your minion is likely to be bigger than anything else on the board at that point. So definitely an interesting possible inclusion there as well.
Yep, Stampeding Roar is a card that has been really cool for us as well. It really pushes you towards building a very specific type of deck, but there's beasts are something that we introduce every set. So and I think druids they're gonna continue to get really big beasts. I think not only now having cards like Tarantus, but in the future, I think Stampeding Roar is likely to get better and better because this is the kind of thing that druids do, right?
And one thing that I like about this card is that it is a powerful card for druid, but it's a powerful card for druid that is different from the other sorts of stuff that druid is doing right now.
Yep.
You know, there's the Malagos druids, there's the Togwaggle druids, these sort of combo-ish druid decks, and while this kind of has a combo feel to it of I want to assemble this with like a giant beast that's going to be really tough for my opponent to deal with, it's very different in terms of specifically what it is enabling than the other decks. It doesn't really slot into anything that's just popular and powerful right now.
Absolutely, and stuff like Witch Grizzly is quite good as
Yeah.
well. You just get to ignore those downsides.
All right, and the final deck we're looking
Last
at, this
one.
this was the one that
Oh, the
we did not
priest.
win with.
Right.
That was,
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the Surrender to Madness deck. That, as you're saying, a tough card to figure out, both sort of how to build a deck around it and how to play it. But obviously very powerful with Spirit of the Dead plus Bwansamdi.
Bwansamdi.
Bwansamdi. Okay. And obviously with this wants you to have mostly minions in your deck, and this deck looks to be mostly minions. New cards we saw in here, the
Mashag. I think we had Phantasm. I think it's the 2-mana card. Did we see that? We didn't, right?
Oh no, we didn't see this card. Oh, okay.
So it's
Akanai
like
Phantasm.
the
So it's
the 1-turn Akanai play.
Oh, interesting. So this is a essentially like a cheap version of Akanai Shadow Priest, but it only works for a single turn.
Right.
So you can use this if you just want to like Akanai Circle. This obviously isn't going to stay around, but being able to use this or other sort of switch healing effects. This plus what's the new 0-cost heal? Regenerate, I think.
Yes.
Just more ways that you could potentially have to do the same sort of effect if you want to build your deck around that, or just cheaper ways. This plus Prophet Velen, you can actually actually fit in the same turn if you're using regenerates or whatever else.
Yeah, Priest is generally pretty reactive, so this is more of a proactive card, so it allows them to kind of fight and do things that they normally aren't doing.
Interesting. So yeah, and potentially just on 4 mana you can just play this hero power their guy.
Yep.
Even if you're not playing
That's
any
totally
other
fine.
cards with it, it can be essentially a 4-cost 3/2 that deals 2.
Yep. So we have I think it was Jakari Trickster, which is the 3-mana card.
Ooh, this is a new card too. Battlecry, give each player a copy of a random card from their opponent's deck.
You have to learn a little bit about each other.
Okay. So is this to their hand, I assume?
Yes.
Okay. So this is kind of interesting because obviously it's a 3-cost 3/4. So
Pretty good body on its own.
that
as people
by itself
say.
you can just justify potentially playing it. It's not just going to lose on the board against most things. And if you have you think that your deck is more likely to be able to use their cards better than they can use your cards. Maybe this is just generally going to be advantageous in a matchup, but against like Mecha'thun, if they're trying to empty their hand, it's like, all right, here, have a card. you can't go off first.
With Talanji as well, the card that summons cards from start in your deck. So
yeah,
this gives you some more options to do things with Talanji.
Very cool.
And then we had Arena Fanatic, which was the buff card.
Yep.
That one goes with a bunch of different stuff. We were comparing it directly with the Paladin card, but I think when you open up to 8 other classes, things start to get a lot crazier. So there's a lot of cards that benefit, like Acolyte of Pain, stuff like that benefit.
I mean, right next to it in here, Serenade Chain Gang.
Yeah,
this is
Chain Gang is also fantastic with that.
So every deck potentially being able to buff their chain gangs in hand, not have to worry about I played a Keleseth or I played Surrender to Madness and I have to draw them afterwards.
Yeah, anytime that
You
you're
can set
looking
that
at a deck where you're just staring at a bunch of minions in your hand, you should probably think about Fanatic and if that's something that fits in your deck.
Cool. All right, well, that is, I think, going through all the new cards.
I believe that.
At least the ones in our deck.
I believe that was it. Yeah, we had there's a Shaman card.
Oh, do I just look them up in the collection?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Let's do.
We have the power.
Former champ.
Former champ. Oh, there he is.
Okay, so summon a 5/5 hot shot.
Okay, interesting.
So he's kind of plays like he is a 5-mana 6/6, which, you know, again, as people say, a pretty good body on its own, but also plays into, you know, if you're evolving
Evolve
things,
effects.
yeah, you're playing stuff like Unstable Evolution, it's going to be quite good. Or you've played stuff like Draw.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And the 5/5 costs 5 if you want to like evolve them. They're each okay. Neat. And it is pretty important that you know fits into the 10 mana of this plus Thrall potentially of getting you 2/7 cost minions, or just you know obviously playing both of them and then like you said unstabling them in the same turn.
Right, you have Unstable Evolution. We had Kragwa, which is like one of the better cards you've ever made with Unstable Evolution. Not necessarily because it evolves stuff, but it just gives you so many
I
of the
love that
spells.
combination.
Yeah, it's really cool.
The frog
Then we
gives
have
you all your spells you cast.
Wartbringer is the next one.
What is it?
Wartbringer.
Wart. I'll just start. Oh.
Mm.
Oh, I think it's looking at priest cards.
Oh
so
yeah, you're right. So we gotta
go back. Go back.
We know how to use the collection.
We do, yeah. All right, so 1 cost 2/1. Battlecry. If you played 2 spells this turn, deal 2 damage. Huh. I do not know how to evaluate that.
It plays It plays into a lot of the theme that's going on with Shaman lately, which is you have cards like Zap, you have cards called like Voltaic Burst and Unstable Evolution. You have Kragwa, and you're trying to cast all these spells. So if you're a deck that is doing a lot of those things, then maybe Wartbringer is pretty good for you. If you're weaving in a bunch of spells, you're able to do something. Because obviously 1 mana 2/1 deal 2 damage is pretty insane, but it's hard to meet the condition all the time.
Yeah, it's interesting because you know this obviously can combine, like you said, with those cheap removal spells or 0-cost removal spells, even to help clear out your opponent's board. And you know potentially like with you know Unstable Evolution, you have an Unstable Evolution turn, and it's like okay, well I have a little bit of mana left over, and I can fire this off too.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, I think that
might
actually fine. Oh no, there was the Helpless
Hatchling.
There's one more. One more.
Helpless Hatchling is kind of a weird card. Well, it looks simple, but it allows you to do some strange things.
1 cost 1/1 with Death Rattle. Reduce the cost of a beast in your hand by 1. Huh. It can't be all that helpful. Not with those widow wings.
Okay. Very cute. He is very cute, right? He's one of the cutest.
I think this is probably this intended to be the cute card of the set. There's usually one in each set, right? There's the cute card.
Yeah. I think this might be it. This card's weird in that a lot of times you're expecting like these a lot of the big beasts that come down in a particular turn. Like having a concussion turn 8 is obviously like a big deal in comparison to having a concussion on turn 9.
Sure.
Stuff like Halazi, being able to weave in these plays that your opponent isn't necessarily expecting is something that actually works out a lot of the time. You have to play a 1-mana 1/1 in your deck,
It's true.
which is not the greatest thing.
And it's specifically like it's a 1-mana 1/1 beast, so it's pretty bad in a deck with Kethrena, which is where a lot of those decks that you want to have those big beasts as it stands.
For sure.
But you do get to have an adorable little hatchling in your deck.
You
too.
do, and I think one of the reasons why this one can actually end up seeing play is just because you have the Spirit as well. So with the Spirit, what you want is not necessarily like a really high cost stuff.
You want to play a bunch of things.
Yeah, you want to play a bunch of things that are really low cost. So having a 1-mana 2/2 is obviously like that's totally fine. So
you can also go Quest Hunter.
Quest Hunter, yeah.
Get you ahead of the curve, literally, in terms of getting out all your 1-drops to play your quest reward.
Yeah,
all right, cool.
Anytime you do cost reduction, people find a way to. What if I could make my Mecha'thun cost 8? What would I do then? It's like what would you do if you could make any beast in the game cost 1 less? What could you do with that? I think a lot of players are excited about exploring
it's not necessarily
what that could mean.
Right. It's not necessarily a card that just jumps out at you as like, oh, this is broken. This obviously goes into this deck or whatever. It's like, but it's a puzzle that you can solve to try and figure out a way to abuse it. So
certainly,
cool.
I think it's something to definitely think about doing.
Cool. I think we finally have actually gone through.
We went through the
all
cards.
Of those
that was a lot of cards.
I believe there are still some cards that will be revealed later today on the Facebook page. There's always a bunch of like neutral cards that weren't yet revealed during the actual reveal season.
I think we still have some stuff left. I know we revealed a lot of cards. I'm not sure.
We did.
I would have to ask Chris, but we'll see.
All right, well, I think that is about it for us. So before we are done here, Dean, is there anything that you want to share with the community, things that they should remember?
Sure. Well, there's a bunch of new archetypes coming in Hearthstone. I hope that when the expansion launches, it feels fresh and new. When you log in, there's a bunch of new decks to play, and you're seeing some cool stuff that gets added on from old decks that you enjoy playing, and some totally new decks too. You can still pre-purchase all the way up to launch. So that's still available for you, and we're just really excited for you to play Rastakhan's Rumble.
I'm excited to play it too, and it comes out on the 4th, right?
December
Next
4th.
Tuesday.
Yeah,
So
very soon.
less than a week away until we can all get in there in the Gurabashi Arena and rumble it up. So anyway, that is it. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope to see you all in the arena very soon.
Thanks a lot. See you later.